Welcome back to the program. You know, one of the things throughout my career that I have been able to do is to see things before they happen and call them out, typically, before anyone else does. And the latest edition of that is the fact that I am the only member of the media that I know of, if there's others out there, please let me know, because I don't think there is, that has called publicly, boldly and bravely, for the Democrat Socialists of America to be designated as a terrorist organization. Where do you think Mamdani has come from? He has been hand-chosen and hand-picked from the DSA. Where do you think AOC came from? The DSA supported her. Of course, Justice Democrats many years ago actually did a calling, basically a casting call, if you will, of 10,000 people, and they chose her for the Hispanic girl. Just like they chose Ilhan Omar for the Muslim. They had another Muslim, Rashida Tlaib, and of course they needed a black woman, so they got Ayanna Pressley, right? You all remember the story of the Justice Democrats. They're still around, sadly. But DSA is the equivalent of Antifa. The only difference is they're more from the standpoint of not from a guerrilla warfare. They're more of the brains and the surgeons and, the mad scientists, if you will, behind the scenes. They are more connected to the people in the Democratic Party, but they hate the Democratic Party. That's what people don't understand. They think that the Democratic Socialists of America, well, they must be Democrats. No, they're not. They're revolutionary communists, and they admit it themselves. Not even coming from me, they admit it themselves. They use the Democrat Party because the Republican Party, thankfully, isn't stupid enough to be bought and paid for, that much at least, by these outright communists. They're not socialists, they're communists. And they use the Democratic Party because that's the only party that they can use. Okay? So in a minute here, I'm going to show you a video. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this one in front of the paywall so anyone can share it. We need to get President Trump to wake up. He has to designate DSA as a terrorist organization. And it has to happen immediately. Otherwise, if Mamdani does win, you're going to see thousands of Mandamis running for office. It's going to open up the gates of fucking hell, okay? That's what's going to happen. It already did in Minnesota with Captain Phillips look-alike, who's running in Minneapolis, right? This is what they do. They pick a blue district, and then they use a special election where there's low turnout, and then they get into power like a fucking cancer. And the next thing you know, they spread. And then Minnesota and New York become Los Angeles, Seattle, and Portland. And then Los Angeles, Seattle, and Portland become Michigan, which is the most Muslim population in the entire United States of America. And then they become Madison, Wisconsin. And then they become, pick a city, Phoenix, Arizona. Okay? Charlotte, North Carolina. McLean, Virginia. Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Do you see what I'm saying? It keeps growing and growing and growing. Do we want the United States to look like the UK? Where almost every single town in England has a Muslim mayor or leadership? No, we do not. And that's not xenophobic. That's not racist. That's protectionist against invaders that want to change America for the worse. And yes, I have no problem saying that. So, we need to make sure President Trump does his job and designates this organization as exactly what they are, a terrorist organization. Listen to this. And by the way, I'll probably take this video clip and put it into this segment so that you can see it as well.
It's no secret that the Democratic Socialists of America hate the Democratic Party.
I think we're all on the same page that we hate the Democratic Party.
Democratic Party is not really
our friend. It isn't.
So why are the DSA such major players in the Democratic Party? This odd relationship can be understood with the cuckoo analogy. In nature, the cuckoo survives by trickery. It lays its egg in another bird's nest. The unsuspecting parents raise the imposter as their own until the cuckoo grows strong enough to push the true chicks out. The DSA is the cuckoo inside the Democratic Party.
DSA is not the Democratic Party.
We must separate ourselves from the toxic Democratic Party.
We can put forward a clear, aggressive, principled strategy that pushes back against the Democratic leadership and the Democratic Party as a whole.
DSA candidates run as Democrats in safe blue districts. They slip through low turnout primaries. And once inside, they use the Democratic label as camouflage while advancing an extremist anti-American agenda far beyond the party's mainstream.
I don't agree with the Democratic Party, but it's a great tool.
The Democratic is a tool that we use.
Once in office, DSA candidates take orders from DSA's internal enforcers and working groups. City halls and state houses start running as socialist machines controlled by the organization, not the Democratic Party and certainly not voters.
They have to have a connection with DSA's internal politics, and they have to be committed to the eventual goal of building a separate entity from the Democrats.
DSA are revolutionaries, and the Democrats are their first victims. And in city after city, DSA victories prove their plan works.
I think that the model that we used in New York is 100% replicatable.
Did you hear that? I think the model that we used in New York is 100% replicatable. What did I just say? That they're going to run 1,000 of these little bastards all over the country. Listen again. I want you to listen to this part right here.
I think that the model that we used in New York is 100% replicatable.
And just like the cuckoo, once the DSA grows strong, it pushes the true Democrats out, hollowing the party from within,
building towards political independence and tearing apart the Democratic Party.
The DSA is not here to strengthen the Democratic Party. It is here to consume it.
We're not here to make the Democrats a little bit better. We're here to actually enact socialism. And socialism is not just better capitalism. It's overthrowing the entire capitalist state.
It's our duty, DSA, to cultivate this power.
The cuckoo is in the nest, and New York City is poised to elect not a Democrat, but Zohran Mamdani, an extremist within the DSA.
We understand that winning an election is not an end. It is a means to an end.
So the most important thing that we can do is take that empire down from within.
Ultimately to overthrow our own empire.
Okay. Overthrow our own empire. Okay, that's subversive, number one, but it's treason, number two. And gee, what does it qualify for? Yes, that's right. Terrorism charges. We need to do what we did to Antifa, to the DSA.
That can drive a stake through the heart of empire.
We need to orient ourselves towards insurrection.
There it is. What other proof do you need other than coming from these revolutionaries' own mouths themselves? They are not part of the Democratic Party. They want to consume it. They want to overthrow this country. So guess what you do when you have people that want to overthrow your country? You absolutely destroy them. And you use every single tool to do it at your disposal. And that starts with an executive order designating the DSA as the next terrorist organization. Those are my thoughts. What are yours? Put them down in the comments below. We'll see you in the next one.